All right, hey, good morning. It's Rob Disner, and I'm out here today on this beautiful sunny morning to talk to you about a very important topic that I know has been on your brain, and it's on my brain currently, so I thought I'd make this video, and that is, what is the difference between the NA and the NU hybrid compatibility modes on your Lectrosonics transmitters and receivers? If you're kind of new to the game, or maybe you're still renting equipment and you're not familiar with this stuff, well, having this knowledge is what differentiates you from just anybody else out there. So it's really good to brush up on your knowledge and awareness of these types of topics, especially working with radio mics, because it gets complicated, complex, and confusing. And I'm going to try to sort it out today. I am not a particularly technical person, and some of the stuff I say might not be 100% accurate, but in the spirit of what I'm teaching you today, it should be useful to your needs as a sound mixer. So basically, there are two modes recently, two compatibility modes that we've seen. One is called the NA hybrid, and those are from the digital hybrid transmitters, a series of transmitters, receivers that they've been making for the last, couple decades now. And the NU hybrid, which is the latest and greatest compatibility mode. And basically it just says this is what we need to have the transmitter here talk to the receiver. It has to be, in the correct mode on both ends for it to talk to each device. Compatibility modes just mean I can use older transmitters with the newer receivers. There's a 100 compatibility mode that you might see. That's the older all black transmitters, the 195s. You go way back decades, like 30 years now. There's a 200 mode. That's the 200 transmitters. There's a 400 mode. Those are the 400 transmitters. Again, these are all the just the black units, no digital readout or whatever. But the ones I'm talking about today are the NA and the NU hybrid modes. People are getting them mixed up, and the problem is you're going to have a level mismatch if you have an NA on one side and an NU on the other side. Basically, you have to think of it that the NU is more sensitive. So if I have an NA, an older transmitter, and I am receiving in the mode NU, I believe that the more sensitive side, the receiver, is going to overmodulate. It's going to pick up too much. Other way around, if you have the NU, a newer transmitter, and you are receiving in the NA mode, you're going to undermodulate. Your level's going to be low. We had someone post a question in one of the forums today, which got me thinking about this stuff. And what it sounds like to me is they have a mismatch on one side or the other. And like I said, just getting those both aligned will fix your problem as far as the levels, whether you're undermodulating or overmodulating based on not having the same compatibility modes on both the transmit and the receive side. All right, so basically what happened, I'll get into a little theory, and then we're going to look at a couple of the transmitters I have and show you how you can tell which ones you have and what mode you should be in. In 2018, they changed this frequency deviation. It used to be 75, I believe, megahertz, and they narrowed it down to 50 megahertz, and that's how much the audio could deviate from what's called the carrier signal. A carrier signal is just like a flat, non-changing signal, and the audio modulates over or under that carrier signal. And that's how, when it gets decoded, you hear audio, just like, I think it is FM, frequency modulation, just like your FM radio. And again, I'm not going to get too technical because I'll start saying stuff that is incorrect. But anyway, the FCC or whoever said, we used to be able to deviate this much, 75. Now we can only deviate 50. We can only be off of that carrier signal, that flat signal that runs. We can only be off of that now by a deviation of 50, which meant that Lectrosonics and other manufacturers had to change all their transmitters out. Now, that's 5 minutes, that's good. Any more than that, I'll start to bore people. But, all right, so now let's look at some of the devices, and my dog has something to say about it. But let's look at some of the devices and see how do we know what mode we're in, what to set the receiver at. So let's check out just a couple of the transmitters that I have here available. All right, so I use the LT and the LMB transmitters. They're not the most popular, but I like them because they're at a price I can afford. They're a lot cheaper than the smaller units. I don't do a lot of scripted work, so I don't really need to hide these as well. They can be a little bigger, and yeah, so they work out fine for me. Anyway, when you turn on this LT transmitter, and this is a new one I just purchased, we're going to see right here on the display that it says NU hybrid. Okay, so that's easy enough. I know this is an NU hybrid unit, and on my receiver side, I should select NU hybrid. But if I don't happen to notice that display as it's going by, I'm busy, I'm in a rush or whatever, here's another way I can look and see it has a black label. Anything that has a black label is going to be an NU hybrid unit. Another way I know is the FCC ID ends in the letter A. TA, you see 1A. If it ends in the letter A, it is again an NU hybrid unit. All right, so I've got this one here, which is a newer one. I'm going to pull out my next LT. I call this number 2. And it looks just the same, but this one is actually an older unit, and this one is an NA hybrid unit. Now, when you turn this one on, it does not say NA hybrid because the other version didn't exist. It just says hybrid. So that's a confusing thing because you would not know which version of hybrid to use by looking at the screen. But if I look at the back, it has a blue label. Anything with a blue label is an NA hybrid mode, and I'm going to set my transmitter accordingly. So once again, I can put it up on here. My FCC ID, where you see it says LTB1, there's no A there. So once again, blue label, no A at the end of that FCC ID means an NA hybrid unit. Black label has an A at the end of the FCC ID and has the black label. That means this is the new hybrid unit. And again, on the screen, this will now say new hybrid, or NU. I'm actually not sure if it's new or just NU means something else, but I think of it as the new system versus the, NA, the older system. Here's an LMB, here's a different transmitter. These do not have black or blue labels, but I can once again look on the side here and see my FCC ID, which ends in B1A. And if this FCC ID ending in B1A is on your unit, once again, you're going to know that this should be in the NU hybrid mode. So this will work with most of your transmitters that you have. And once again, really quickly, black label, the latest and greatest, NU hybrid, blue label, older units, NA hybrid, no label, but the FCC ID still has an A on the end, the letter A right there. This one is still going to be in the NU hybrid mode. And that probably covers about what I wanted to say today. So once again, make sure you have both sides, receiver and transmitter, set to the correct compatibility mode, whether it is NA or NU. Otherwise, you're going to either overmodulate or undermodulate, as I explained earlier. All right. What do you think, Diego? Yeah, you don't care. Okay. We'll see you later. Bye.